curled up and went to sleep. "Good morning!" cried a hearty voice, and I ran out to welcome our neighbour the doctor, whose horse's hoofs had not been heard, and who was now fastening the rein to the hook in one of the verandah posts. "Well, Joe," he said, as I shook hands and looked up admiringly in his bold, well-bearded face. "Well, doctor, I'm so glad you've come. Walk in." "Ah, nurse," he cried, "how well you look!" "Yes, yes, but I am glad you're come," she said. "I want you to look at Master Joseph." I did look at him. "Isn't he feverish or something, sir?" "He's that restless as never was." "Sign he's growing," cried the doctor. "How's mamma?" "Oh, she's pretty well," I said. "Gone to lie down." "That's right," said the doctor. "I had to come and look at Bowman's broken arm, so I came on here to beg a bit of dinner." "I'm so glad," I said, for Jimmy, the half-wild black, was my only companion, there being no boys within miles of our run. "Stop a week and have some fishing." "And what's to become of my patients?" "You haven't got any," I said. "You told me so last time." "True. Oh, King Joseph, I've come to the wrong place. You don't want many doctors in Australia." "Why, nurse, how this fellow grows!" "I wish he'd grow good," cried the old lady. "He's always doing something to worry away his poor ma's and my life." "Why, what's the matter now, nurse?" "Matter, sir? Why, he's took it into his head to go looking for his poor dear dead agone pa. Do please tell him he mustn't think of such things." "Why, Joe!" cried the doctor, turning sharply round to me, and ceasing to beat his high boots with his long thong whip. "I don't care what anybody says," I cried, stamping my foot. "I've made up my mind, and mean to go to New Guinea to find my father." "There, doctor, did you ever hear any one so wickedly obstinate before?" cried nurse. "Isn't it shocking? And his ma, that delicate and worried, living all alone, like here out in these strange parts, and have him as ought to be a comfort to her doing nothing but hanker after running away to find him as is dead and gone." "He's not dead, nurse, he's only gone," I cried, "and I mean to find him, as sure as I live. There, that I will." "There, doctor, did you ever hear such a boy?" cried nurse. "Never," said the doctor. "Why, Joe, my boy," he cried as I stood shrinking from him, ready to defend myself from his remonstrances, "your ideas do you credit. I didn't think you had it in you." "Then you don't think it is wrong of me, doctor?" I said, catching his hand. "No, my boy, I do not," he said gravely, "but it is a task for strong and earnest men." "But I am strong," I said, "and if I'm not a man I'm in real earnest." "I can see that, my lad," said the doctor, with his brown forehead filling with thoughtful wrinkles. "But have you counted the cost?" "Cost?" I said. "No, I should get a passage in a coaster and walk all the rest of the way." "I mean cost of energy, the risks, the arduous labours." "Oh, yes," I said, "and I shan't mind. Father would have done the same if I was lost." "Of course he would, my lad. But would you go alone?" "Oh, no," I replied. "I should take a guide." "Ah, yes, a good guide and companion." "There, Master Joseph, you hear," said nurse. "Dr. Grant means that sarcastical." "No, I do not, nurse," said the doctor quietly, "for I think it a very brave and noble resolve on the part of our young friend." "Doctor!" "It has troubled me this year past, that no effort has been made to find the Professor, who, I have no doubt, is somewhere in the interior of the island, and I have been for some time making plans to go after him myself." Nurse Brown's jaw dropped, and she stared in speechless amazement. "Hooray, Doctor!" I cried. "And I say hooray too, Joe," he cried. "I'll go with you, my lad, and we'll bring him back, with God's help, safe and sound." The shout I gave woke Jimmy. He sprang to his feet, dragged a boomerang from his waistband, and dashed to the door to throw it at somebody, and then stopped. "You'll break his mother's heart, Doctor," sobbed nurse. "Oh, if she was to hear what you've said!" "I did hear every word," said my mother, entering from the next room, and looking very white. "There, there," cried nurse. "You wicked boy, see what you've done!" "Mother!" I cried, as I ran to her and caught her, poor little light delicate thing that she was, in my arms. "My boy!" she whispered back, as she clung to me. "I must go. I will find him. I'm sure he is not dead." "And so am I," she cried, with her eyes lighting up and a couple of red spots appearing in her cheeks. "I could not feel as I do if he were dead." Here she broke down and began to sob, while I, with old nurse's eyes glaring at me, began to feel as if I had done some horribly wicked act, and that nothing was left for me to do but try to soothe her whose heart I seemed to have broken. "Oh, mother, dear mother," I whispered with my lips close to her little pink ear, "I don't want to give you pain, but I feel as if I must go." To my utter astonishment she laid her hands upon my temples, thrust me from her, and gazing passionately in my great sun-browned face, she bent forward, kissed me, and said, "Yes, yes, you've grown a great fellow now. Go. Yes, you must go. God will help you and bring you both safely back." "Oh ah! Oh ah! Oh ah!" came from the veranda, three hideous yells, indicative of the fact that Jimmy, the half-wild black who had attached himself to me ever since the day I had met him spear arm, and bearing that as his only garment over the shoulder, and I shared with him the bread and mutton I had taken for my expedition, was in a state of the utmost grief. In fact, he had thrown himself down on the sand, and was wallowing and twisting himself about, beating up the dust with his boomerang, and generally exciting poor old nurse's disgust. "Mother!" I cried, and making an effort she stood up erect and proud. "Mr. Grant!" she exclaimed, "do you mean what you say?" "Most decidedly, my dear madam," said the doctor. "I should be unworthy of the Professor's friendship, and the charge he gave me to watch over you in his absence, if I did not go." "But your practice?" "What is that, trifling as it is, to going to the help of him who gave me his when I came out to the colony a poor and friendless man?" "Thank you, doctor," she said, laying her hand in his. "And I go the more willingly," he said, smiling, "because I know it will be the best prescription for your case. It will bring you back your health." "But, doctor—" "Don't say another word," he cried. "Why, my dear Mrs. Carstairs, it is 5 years since I have had anything even approaching a holiday. This will be a splendid opportunity, and I can take care of Joe here, and he can take care of me." "That I will if I can," I cried. "I know you will, Joe," he said. and we'll bring back the Professor with all his collection of new plants for that London firm.